All right, so I just did a couple videos that were pure workouts, and that was for a lot of people just asking about that. I probably will do some more because people are still asking about those things, and I was debating about going on to more days of the week, but honestly, you got a nice snapshot of upper body and lower body. Like I said, I'll keep showing more variations because there's literally an infinite number of things you can kind of combinations of workouts to do. And I know people like it, so I'll keep doing that. But people have been asking me a lot too, just what's a routine that I follow, or just what's a basic routine that I'd recommend for someone who has a total gym or a Weider Ultimate Body Works. Again, those links will be down below. I'll put a couple links to some other videos that'd be helpful to reference if you guys haven't seen my other videos, because I'll refer to some exercises and routines and things to kind of see as examples. So I'll put those down below too if you're interested. As always, kind of like this video if you guys get any benefit from this. But to jump right into it, and consider this is going to be very simple, but this is for a due reason here, because I don't know anything about you, so I can't really give any details that are that too specific, not knowing anything about the person's habits and priorities or whatever. But this is personally what I think most people could take away take away some information and actually apply it. And this is also pretty much what I've been doing since kind of this whole like lockdown thing, and what I'd recommend most people to do. This is again pretty much what I've been following. So most importantly, if you remember anything from this video, that's most important is just use the machine. It goes without saying, just use the thing, because if anything, piece of equipment, if you're not using it, you're not getting zero benefit from it. Even if you feel like what you're doing is a waste of time, it's definitely not a waste of time. And this is one of those pieces of equipment I've always said in the beginning that it's just kind of fun to play around with. So once you start just getting on it, and just, if you're like, let's say you're unmotivated, you don't want to work out, it's a very forgiving machine. And just like any form of exercise, as soon as you get the blood going, you'll get motivated to do it. So put on like any kind of music, movie, whatever it is, listen to a podcast, whatever, and just sit here and just start playing around on the machine. Start playing with some exercises, and odds are you'll spend at least 20 minutes doing something, and I think you'll go even longer, and you'll start dialing up things up as the progression goes along. And if you watch zero videos about form or technique, odds are if you do this, you'll kind of get a little bits and pieces here and there that ultimately will funnel up. You'll learn how to use this machine eventually, I think, for the most part. Maybe I can or can't say that, I don't know. But the point is, use the machine, and that's the most important thing. Don't get too hung up on these purely right and wrong ways of using it. Some constant variables to think about. So one is the rep range. For me, you guys, I say this all the time, I personally never really counted reps, at least when I'm using this machine, this type of programming type of stuff. But since I've been doing the workouts, I was kind of consciously counting. I think the average for me on this machine, and I think for most people, is between 8 to 25. I've been saying a lot, just kind of focus on feeling the muscle working. Primarily, I think a big benefit of this is you're not going to get huge strength. You're going to gain strength, but not nearly as much strength as you will with adding on traditional linear progression with loads and weights, because we don't have that much weight to really play around with. You have your body weight in different inclines, but still you can still definitely work your muscles. You definitely can build muscle, there's no question, by progressively adding tension and making things a little harder through resistance. With that being said, I just play with the rep range that kind of works that tension, what I kind of feel the muscles working. So I'm not going to go below 8, because at that point there's just not too many exercises that I feel like you can get a really high intensity, meaning a lot of high weight, on below 8. I shouldn't say it though. If you're a beginner, you definitely can find that. And that's not, there are some things that are fairly challenging. I think in the last couple of videos there are some exercises that I kind of grinded out those last 8 or 10. But 8 to 25, because sometimes if I'm not feeling it, but I like the way it feels, but maybe I want to get a few repetitions, then I feel like I can kind of start feeling it in the muscle, then I'll go the highest 25. I'm never going higher than 25 though, for sure. Sets, I'm definitely, I always mix things up all the time, but I'll come back to some bread and butter exercises a lot. So as far as the sets of an exercise that I'm doing, I'm definitely doing at least more than one for sure. Always at least 2. If I was going to ditch 2, is because maybe again I wasn't feeling it. I hate to keep saying that, but the sweet spot is probably 3 to 4 sets of an exercise. The rest time for me, like I said, depending, I'm not formally thinking about this too much. If I'm not distracted too much, this is probably the average 30 to 90 seconds. I'm not looking at my phone or on the computer doing something, multitasking. It's probably, again, 30 to 90 seconds is probably good for most people. Again, considering that the intensity is not going to be that high, you can switch to exercises fairly easily. So I think that's a nice sweet spot. But again, I think 90 seconds is probably a little too much for some of these exercises, and you can probably go less than 30 if you wanted to for some of these as well, depending if you want to get more of a cardiovascular benefit out of it. And then number of exercises per session, this is one of those things, again, you can use a lot or a little. I like doing sometimes workouts where it's just 1 or 2 exercises. Now, normally that's with dumbbells and free weights. I've said this before too, that honestly, since this whole lockdown thing's happening, and even though I have a gym membership still, I've been using this Total Gym a lot more frequently just because it's so easy and I'm getting the same benefits. I'm liking the way stuff feels. So while I do mix in some dumbbells, my point was sometimes with dumbbells and free weights, I could do a whole workout just squatting or deadlifting for reps, for high reps or low reps with high weight. But for this one, I can go all over the place. I can have generally it's more multiple exercises though. So no, probably low end 4, highest 8. You could do more or less if you wanted to. Now to kind of jump into it, so I know I'm some time into this video already, but here's the layout of pretty much what I would recommend as far as what I would say I do with using this machine. I'll go through it first and I'll get into some more details, but Monday is generally upper body with some sort of a chest focus. Tuesday is a lower body. Wednesday is some sort of like rest day or active rest day or cardio type of thing. I'll talk about that. Thursday, then it's back to upper body with a more of a shoulder focus, and then Friday is lower body focus, and then Saturday, Sunday is either totally nothing or again kind of like Wednesday, just some active rest, whatever I kind of feel like. I think this is a good format to follow for most people. If at the very minimum, do this 4-day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm sorry, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And especially if you're doing it with, like I've showed you guys, you can do these in 20-minute workouts if you want to. If it's longer, or if you're doing a total body workout, which those are excellent as well, and I should do some videos on that. In fact, I will, because that's definitely something you could do to make your life simpler. You could do 3 days a week total body and make it still make great kind of benefits and gains on doing this in minimal frequency if you wanted to. But what I do is I just think, okay, Monday is going to be an upper body day with a chest focus. What I mean by chest focus is I'm just going to do a little bit more chest sets and or I shouldn't say exercises, because honestly, this is another video I think I could do more of, is kind of solidifying the bread and butter exercise that I do. Chest is one of those things that you can work it, and I do like basically chest is pretty much just the basic seated chest press with the cables when I'm just kind of sitting up kneeling, as I've done a lot before, with the straps going underneath. This is what I mean where I can go into a little more detail on this, but I'll do that later. That's mostly what I'll do. Maybe I'll throw in some push-ups at like an incline with my feet on top of something. If I'm gonna mix in dumbbells, if you got a pair of dumbbells, this is where I throw in an extra a set of dumbbell work for heavier weight. I'm not a huge fan of chest flies, to be honest, on this thing. It's just me. I can talk about that actually in another video. But that's kind of an emphasis in the upper body as far as the pushing stuff. On Monday, I won't do as much shoulders. I'll do more shoulder stuff on Friday, but I will do some chest on Friday lightly, but I really won't do much shoulders on Monday. Maybe, if anything, like it says here, I'll do maybe some frontal raises with this, like I've showed in other videos, or even the rear flies. Again, I got a whole video on shoulder exercises on here too. I might do around two back exercises, so it could be the pull-ups, it could be the standing versions I do, it could be those single arm rows I've showed. I have a video about the best back exercises on here as well. I won't always do a core exercise. I have a video about best core exercises that are on here. This is kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I do them, sometimes I don't. Just depends how I feel. And then 2 arm exercises, meaning 1 bicep, 1 tricep, and that's what I'll do. Okay. And again, for that rep range. Tuesday being lower body. Pretty much it's some sort of squat variation, either that back squat, or you guys saw in a previous video just recently, that prone sled squat where my feet are on the sled, I'm facing the sled, and I'm going up and down this way. Then I'll do some sort of single leg variation, like a side lying single leg squat and or the Bulgarian squat. Both of these I did in the last lower body exercise that I did recently. A video that I did, I'll link it down below too. Actually, these I did as well, the glute press or standing deadlift. You could substitute one of those. But again, just high repetition ranges. That's kind of what I did. It's getting dark out here. It's starting to rain, so hopefully you can still see me. But and then I don't do these as much, even though I kind of showed some videos how you can do hamstring curls, knee extensions. They're just a little cumbersome for me, so I don't do too much of them, to be honest with you guys. Not that you couldn't if you wanted to isolate and do more of that. And then Wednesday is going to be basically I do something usually on Wednesday, and it's kind of cardio thing. It could be me on my Aerodyne bike. I mean, I can't say enough about Aerodyne bikes or assault bikes. I think, to me, they're the best. I don't think about really doing cardio so much. I think of it more as work, just doing some moving the body, but walking, running, whatever, jump rope, I'll do those. Bench stair climbing, just walking the bench. I've said that a lot too in previous videos. I like doing that. And then I like my fitness boxing game, Nintendo Switch. It's a fun game to play, but that's not really too challenging, to be honest. Just a fun rest day. Thursday now, it's very similar to Monday, except now I'm just doing the opposite. I'm doing a little bit more of a shoulder focus, except I'll pepper in a tiny bit of chest, whether that's push-ups or a very light press like I did. I think the last workout I did was upper body, 2 videos ago, like the last upper body workout I did was upper body with a shoulder focus, and you kind of saw that in action, where I did one little light set of chest presses, but I did a majority of a lot of shoulder as far as the pushing. And again, I picked 2 back exercises. You can just pick 2 different ones depending on what you're feeling. Again, maybe a core exercise, and again, just 2 arm exercises. 1 exercise of bicep, 1 exercise of triceps for multiple sets and reps. And then Friday, honestly, there's no magic to this one. I just do another lower body, and it's probably honestly just something similar to this or some things I didn't do in those days, but that's really it. And I don't really do anything too different with that. That might seem super, super simplistic, and am I covering every single nuance of what I do? No, but that's probably it. I mean, I'm not thinking about it too much. A lot of this is individualized as far as how you kind of feel with an exercise and what you want to focus in on. But to me, this is the best, a nice simple routine that I think would apply to most people, to be honest, with building muscle, or you could say building definition, a muscular definition, and just working in resistance training using the machine. So this is very simple. I know I can do a lot more in detail in this in the future. If you guys want more information, want to see more videos like this with routines, definitely let me know. Always help if you guys like and or subscribe to the channel. It's very helpful if you got anything from this. Let me know if there's any other information or videos you guys want to see in the future, because I will definitely do this. This one was particularly one I just did because someone asked about it. So let me know down below. As always, I'll put links down below, and thanks for watching.